Welcome everybody to another Monday night call. I'm so excited to be bringing you our incredible guest speaker tonight. He is a brilliant friend of mine. He is a international guest speaker. He's a nutritionist, he's an entrepreneur, he's a dad, he's a hubby, and he is just a master of whole foods, and he is at the peak of his game. Or actually, I think we could probably stretch him a bit more. I don't think he's doing enough, but he is absolutely incredible. And I just want to give you a little bit of what I posted about this man today. And it's, imagine a world where food really was the medicine, where we didn't have to rely on man-made medicines to prevent disease and illness. That is the world that Ronaldo Fulieri, got your name wrong again, Fulieri lives in, and his mission is to help us do the same so we can live medication-free lives as well. And it's all about getting back to basics. And tonight he's going to share some ancient science-based nutrition with us. And it's all about just simplicity and getting back to basics. And Ronaldo says this a lot. There's no magic pill, guys. Okay, it takes work, it takes consistency. And if you want to live a life of health and vitality, then the only real benefit is getting back to Mother Nature, the way that she intended us to eat, which is, you know, getting our medicine from the earth. And that's what Ronaldo is going to talk to us about tonight. So Ronaldo, take it away, buddy. You're in the limelight. Share your brilliance with us.
Thank you, guys. So this gonna be a quite intense session. I actually planned to you guys some slides. Sorry, my laptop needs some battery. And what I did for you guys, some slides. So what I would like you to do is focus on me, focus on the slides. But then if you want this copy later, what I can do for you guys is I can send to Chris all these slides, and you guys can have it, the full description of each ingredient. Because I'll tell you what, I compile probably 2.5 hours worth seminar here, but I'm gonna give you guys probably the first 30 minutes, which is, you know, quite important. I'm gonna focus on the most medicinal foods that are around and very available right now in our supermarket. And that's the thing that I teach all the time, which is food as medicine. I paid, you know, hundreds of thousands to be educated on that subject. I'm a nutritionist, dietitian, but then I went into naturopathy, and my quest it started when I was very young, because I had battles with my weight, but then my health. And I always believed that, you know, nature is the best medicine. So this is a session that you guys gonna learn, like, wow, I already have all these ingredients in my pantry. So I'm gonna just teach you guys a little further on the science and, you know, the history of each of those ingredients. So I'm gonna switch here. Joe, I'm gonna have to share my screen so you guys can see can you guys see this? Yes, cool. So I'm gonna put on full screen. Guys, if we start with garlic, which is probably the #1 antibacterial, antiviral food right now for us that could help us fight this, you know, coronavirus or any virus that you have around.
Oh no, has he dropped out?
I think he might have accidentally, instead of full screening, I think he logged out.
It's okay, he'll be back.
He's amazing at food, medicine, not technology.
I'm already excited about garlic. I'm like, oh, it sounds so amazing already. He'll be back. He just wants to keep us in suspense. How dare he? While we're waiting for Ronaldo to come back, a tip that he taught me as well, if you feel like you're getting a bit of a sore throat, is you layer red onion with honey, and you go red onion, honey, red onion, honey, red onion, honey, whack it in a jar, put the lid on for 12 hours, and then drink the honey in the morning, and it'll heal your scratchy, sore throat. So an amazing, like, it's better than cough medicine. Works way faster, gets straight into the bloodstream, helps that area of your body, medicinal, antiseptic, antibacterial. And it's, yeah, as I said, it'll work so much faster than the cough medicines out there. I wonder if he's still talking and thinks that he's still on here. Joel, you might want to send him a message. But that's a really hot tip, guys. So get that into you. And another concoction that I shared with my friend Stubby, who's on here tonight, is getting some hot water and putting some garlic, ginger, lemon, and what's the other one I put in there? Honey. Garlic, ginger, lemon, and honey is amazing for antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. Again, with this virus going around, getting some warm drinks to keep your airways nice and open is really beneficial right now. So make sure you're getting the hot drinks in. Look, we don't even need Ronaldo. I'll just keep sharing his tips.
He's on his way back, but yeah, like I was going to ask you to keep that going.
We might as well say, don't worry, Christine's got it, Ronnie. No, he's got an awesome presentation, and I love the way, like, honestly, you'll never look at garlic or cucumber or, you know, onion the same ever again. You'll be absolutely blown away by this. So it's definitely worth the wait. What else I can do a little jig. I can't sing. I've got too much energy for this time of night. Yes, KN is awesome to put in there as well.
We could do a pub choir thing and start singing "We're All in This Together," perhaps. I'll lead it.
Here he is.
Hi. Sorry, guys. Totally amateur here. I ran out of power in my laptop. I'm so sorry. So let's go back to my screen here. I'll share again. So here we go. We were on garlic. So if you have one food to keep in your pantry right now to fight this coronavirus or whatever virus you have around, this is well known for thousands of years. Okay, so the Egyptians used to cultivate garlic and onion for 38 types of medicine. So if you understand that garlic has not only amazing flavor, aroma, it is a powerful medicine. If you look here, 39 types of natural antibiotics kill over 300 types of bacteria, but then it's also a very good antiviral. It is great for the cardiovascular system. It helps reduce, cardiovascular disease risk. If you have high cholesterol, reduce cholesterol. If you have problems with blood sugar, help fix that too. So it's great for diabetic. It's fantastic for the liver, which helps your body produce glutathione, which is a power detoxifier. Okay, so if you understand, glutathione is an expensive supplement. If you ever find in the market, very hard, because what happens with glutathione when you have it as a pill, breaks down in your stomach and 90% is lost. So even if you buy it, you're not going to get much advantage. So the best way to get it is through food. And glutathione is 10 times more potent than any other antioxidant. So if you think about that, like, do you want to detox your body? Do you want to get your liver rejuvenate? Think about the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower. Think about onion, garlic, because they have a lot of sulfur, sulforaphane. So I would suggest definitely keep 1 to 2, 3 garlic cloves a day. It's probably the best and the cheapest medicine. One thing I would say, and it is not racist, but you just don't buy from Asia. Not because it's from Asia, it's just because if it's imported garlic, what happens is normally it is radiated and they might be bleached. That's why when you buy some garlic from overseas, it's quite white. Sometimes it's let's say it's not the highest quality you want it. I think Australian garlic is great. The more pungent the garlic is, and if you find that the garlic has a little natural oil in it, that's good for you, okay? So you guys can see my screen there? Yep, all good? Can you all see? Yep, okay. So the second one is onions, all right? So that is the cousin of garlic. It is both very similar in properties. They have, hundreds of thousands of benefits, but I would say the best benefit of onions for you now, if you have congested lungs, is to detox your lungs of chemicals, heavy metals, but also flame. So if you are producing flame, if you have mucus in your lung, the onion will help decongest and act as a expectorant, which will help expel the mucus out of the lungs. So imagine this way. Yesterday I did like a broth live, and I told you guys, so simple. It's garlic, onion, thyme. I'll show you the recipe later. But when you combine garlic onion in any recipe, or if you put in your salad even, you're getting not only the phytochemicals of it, you're getting the benefit as a medicine to decongest your lungs. It is a powerful anti-inflammatory, very good to reduce triglycerides, cholesterol as well. Okay, so it's great for cardiovascular system. And what I like about it is great for people that have asthma and bronchitis. And if you understand a bit of the coronavirus and what it does, it attacks the respiratory system, attacks the lungs, makes the lungs fill with mucus until a point that you get very little lung capacity. And because the lungs is being congested with liquid and mucus. So keep those foods in your pantry, in your food, and use them daily, twice a day if possible, because they will just help your body fight whatever comes its way, okay? Our body is very resilient, very reliable, but if we give the right tools, okay, fruits and vegetables and all these beautiful spices and herbs, the body shall be equipped whatever we need to fight those diseases. The third one that it's a must as well, I find super interesting, the new research on turmeric. It is not only a powerful antioxidant and it's great for like inflammation, but it's fantastic for our brain. There is new research on turmeric for depression, Alzheimer's, Parkinson. The latest is also on angiogenesis, which is cardiovascular system, but then metastasis. So that's why turmeric has to be, I think, in my opinion, the #1 anti-cancer food around the world. There are so many studies on, you know, turmeric and cancer and cardiovascular disease, now even diabetes. So it's a powerhouse in nutrition as well. I like the fresh. If you can find the fresh, buy the powder, organic if possible. Not very expensive. It's quite achievable for most of you guys. Keep in the pantry. Use the powder with a bit of garlic and onions. Make like your own, you know, curry like recipe. I think the more you use, I put that in my smoothies. Okay, I put the fresh turmeric in the smoothie, and I blend that first thing in the morning with ginger. I put kale, I put cucumber, I put berries, whatever I can find it, I put in a blender, and we do here first thing in the morning, because you want to nourish your body as soon as you wake up. Don't wake up and go straight to black coffee. Think about black coffee later on, like a more like a beverage to enjoy, but it's not very nutritive for you. First thing in the morning, you have to wake up and do a powerhouse smoothie. Put some complete there, take your GP capsules, make sure that you have loads of nutrition first thing in the morning. Then your body has everything it needs to go throughout the day, okay? And if you are fasting, which I'm a big believer that fasting is great for you, then you can break your fast with a smoothie, and it's the easiest way for your body to digest any food because it's pulverized, it's liquefied. Then you have all that straight into your system straight away. So turmeric is always good, and if you think turmeric, go for black pepper as well. Of course, turmeric and black pepper on a smoothie, perhaps not the best. I tried before, it's quite peppery, you could. But what you could try is, if you're gonna use turmeric powder for your recipe, make sure you put some black pepper in it. A week ago, I was in Melbourne with Chris and Joe. I told the ladies there that, you know, black pepper is probably one of the cheapest way to lose weight and to, you know, maintain your weight. Actually, the latest research is black pepper helps to break down fat cells, but also stop you from storing fat. And what it does also enhance the benefits of curcumin, which is turmeric, in 800 to 2000%. So increase the bioavailability of the food, but also help you to enhance your bioavailability of vitamin A, vitamin C, selenium, and beta carotene, which is potent antioxidants. Okay, so if you understand that our body needs antioxidants to avoid against oxidation, which is aging, so the more antioxidants we have, the less chances we have of oxidizing. I call rusting. Okay. All right. So then we go here. The next one, it's one of my favorites. It's ginger. Ginger is perhaps one of the most popular of the spices there. Okay, you guys probably have at home right now. Very popular in teas, very popular in smoothies. I would say try to go for the fresh if you can. The powder is okay, but fresh ginger is always better. And grate it in your food, put it on your smoothies. It's great for digestion, it's great for healing the stomach. So if you feel that you have a bit of stomach pain, if you have any sort of gastrointestinal disorder, let's say gas, bloatedness, the ginger will definitely help to reduce that. That's why our grandmother used to give us ginger tea or peppermint tea when we feel a bit sick of the stomach, because it's a great carminative. And carminative means reduce the smooth muscle tissue spasm, okay, the activity of it. So even you ladies, if you have strong PMS, or if you have any sort of colic, I recommend ginger because it helps to reduce that. And it's a potent anti-inflammatory. It's well known, especially for people that have arthritis, to reduce the joint pains. Okay. So let's go for another one that is probably very popular, but not many people know the benefit of it. It's berries. I would say right now with this virus, you should have berries every single day. The benefit of berries are multiple. If you look into old dictionaries, I'm talking about before the 1800s, dictionaries used to, the name berries used to come under vaccinium. Okay, so if you understand a vaccine, vaccinium, berries, they pretty much came from that family where we know that they are the most potent for our immune system. That's why in this company that we have, the berries for me is one of the best because it does look after all our immune system. And if you think berries for the cardiovascular system, it is powerful. Okay, it protects our heart against oxidation. It helps to fix the cardiovascular system. It is potent to reduce risk of cardiovascular disease because it's a hypotensive, reduce the pressure of the heart. It is very good for anyone that have insulin issues like diabetics or pre-diabetics or people that have syndrome X, or anyone that have insulin resistance. So it's great to control blood sugar. It is fantastic for the eyesight. There is a Japanese study on blueberries and eyesight, and they conducted a study saying that blueberries help to increase your vision. And then the latest, it is berries for protecting against Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Okay, so make sure you have frozen berries in your freezer. Very easy. You can quickly just go and whack a smoothie, or you can put fresh on the top of your porridge, like what we do here at home. Sometimes we put it straight from the freezer in the porridge and let just defrost, and that brings the porridge temperature down a little bit too. So it's fantastic for that. What else we're going to talk about? I'm just going to skip the most important here for you guys to add a lot of value. How many minutes we got in total here? 30, 40, Chris? 30? Yeah, we're good. Give another 5, 10 guys. I'll promise you won't regret. There's so many value here. Like this one, guys, lime and lemon. Seriously, it's definitely one of my musts here at home. If you have lime and lemon every day, you can cure so many diseases. Okay, if you look at the end of the slide indications, so you see gastritis, reflux, esophagitis, ulcers, liver disorders, diarrhea, hemorrhoids, colitis, urinary infection, pulmonary infection, parasite infection, nervous system disorder. So when you think about limes and lemon, is a natural, I call degreaser. Okay, it's like a detergent. When you put lemons in your water, when you put lemon in your food, it helps to degrease your stomach, your liver helps. Pretty much it's a great way to boost your digestion, great way to detox, very good to remove uric acid, especially if you have gout or arthritis and you feel that your joints ache. Okay, so I would say 1 to 2 lemons or lime a day. That is, I think it's very achievable, quite cheap. If you're gonna do dressing, salad dressings, instead of using vinegar, you can use a lemon. Okay, don't use no cheap salad dressings. Just make fresh salad dressing with lemon juice, olive oil, pinch of salt. That is the basic lemon vinaigrette, and it's fantastic. If you're gonna put it in the water first thing in the morning, it's great for anyone that have gastrointestinal problems, reflux, or if you have a liver disorder, or if you have fatty liver. First thing in the morning, little glass of water with one full lemon. Do that for 90 days. That helps regenerate your liver fully. Okay. And then if you have any sort of problem with digestion, you can squeeze on the top of your food to help digest the food better. So can't go wrong with those things. And then guys, olive. When you think about olives, olive oil, the same, but of course, olive oil, you have to seek for the best, like cold press, organic now, it's $8 in the supermarket, quite cheap. And the benefit of olive oil, I would say it is not only the good fats, okay, that's the most obvious, but you got to think about it is a potent phytochemical, it is a potent antioxidant, anti-aging that's going to help your body regenerate, but it acts as an anti-inflammatory, okay? There's some good research now proving that oleocanthal, which is a substance in olive oil, it mimics ibuprofen effect. So it's a potent anti-inflammatory. So imagine that you have like a $8 bottle in your pantry that you use every single day that could be great for inflammation, for pain. It helps you absorb more vitamins. It is a cheap way to boost your body with antioxidants. So it's a potent anti-aging. And you can use actually externally, okay? So olive oil can be used in your skin, you can use it in your hair, you can actually use basically olive oil for cosmetics. That's why there is, soaps with olive oil and so on. And if you think about the olives, you can eat olives, yes. Just make sure that the olives is not in excess, because a lot of olives are very salty, because, if you ever ate an olive without salt, it's quite astringent and it's very different. So when you eat an olive in a that is being marinated, the benefit is because of that marination process, it's been slightly fermented. So it's like a probiotic, where the olive oil is being pressed straight from the olive, and that is not fermented. So when you combine olives and olive oil, it is the best. You can get one is a probiotic and a prebiotic. The other one is just a fresh oil straight from the olives, okay? So use both. What else here? Let's talk about some heat, some chili. So when you do anything with chili, guys, you have to think about this. Increase your peripheral circulation around your hands and your feet. It is fantastic for any person that has problem with bacteria, viruses. It's proven to be antibacterial, antivirus. That's why in third world countries, for example, they have a lot of spices and a lot of chili in their food. Because if you think about it, for years and years, those type of civilizations, they didn't have access to refrigeration. They didn't have fridges. So what they used to do, they used to put a lot of chili, a lot of garlic to make sauces to help preserve the food against what? Bacteria. So when you think about folklore medicine and where all this came from, if you look at 200, 300 years, the history of those foods, that's give you a very good clue how potent is that food. So chili has been used for thousands of years in different cultures across the globe. It's fantastic for anyone that have pain as well, especially arthritis. It's antiseptic, which it helps to kill microgerms, like I said, okay? And then I'm gonna leave the last one to be my favorite, okay? Yesterday I was with James, talking about the benefit of thyme. I think it's probably one of the most unutilized herb. It's probably right now in your garden because most people don't think that it's a herb that they can cook with. I would say it is the most delicious herb to cook with. All the great chefs that I know, okay, Gordon Ramsay and Jamie Oliver, if you like, you name it. All those guys in their videos, they probably they say about the benefit of thyme in cooking. It's not only aromatic; it's fantastic. It adds so much flavor. adds so much smell. It is very feminine, it's very gentle. It's very different than rosemary, okay? So I would say start to cook more with thyme. The benefit of using thyme is the oil of thyme oil, okay? So what I would suggest you to do is this: you grab a bunch of thyme, and then you open a jar of you put a olive oil in a jar, like those big jars with big lids there, and you can infuse the whole thyme bunch there, and you pretty much keep that for like 7 days, and from there on you can use that oil. What's gonna happen is the oil gonna be infused with thyme, and that is the benefit. You can have that on the top of your food, you can cook with it, or you can do salad dressings. But if you understand, thyme comes from the word tumus and tomb, okay, the tomb, like the old Egyptian. So thyme used to be used for embalmment. So if you understand that the Egyptians mastered the way to preserve a body for 5,000 years, one of the secrets for their oil was thyme. Thymol preserved because it kills all the bacteria and all the microgerms. So imagine that inside your body. How good it would be to have thyme in your diet to preserve you against infection and all those things. So guys, I think I could keep going. There's so many slides, but what I want to wrap up, it is
Can I
right
jump
now,
in? Can I just jump
yeah,
in? I want to. This is amazing, and I hope you don't mind, and I hope the rest of the audience doesn't mind. But we actually can go to 8:30, so you've got the floor's open. So if you've got more content, man, and you
yeah.
don't have to go anywhere, like if everyone wants to stick on, who wants to hear more from Ronaldo? Is this gold or is this gold? There's a standing ovation, mate. So like, if I'm not taking up your precious time, I understand if you got to jump off, but yeah, like the
No,
crowd's
I will
spoken.
give. Let me see. Because I resumed this session. It was a long session, so I did probably, I think, 19 slides all up. But let's continue then, and then we can open for a Q&As, and we can perhaps extend it for a bit more of questions, because I would like to give people a chance to interact as well. But let's keep going. At least talk about the benefits of using salts in the diet. Okay, so I got two salts here for you guys that you have to understand the difference between both. So the popular one right now is the Himalayan. Everyone probably have that at home. It is the pink salt. It's very widely available, and it's great. I I have it here at home as well, and I use it all the time. The only thing about Himalayan salt is there is a disadvantage of it being very high in sodium compared to Celtic salt, which I'll show you, okay, or Celtic. But let's think Himalayan salt is great. It increased hydration. It got some very powerful benefits, which is 40 plus minerals, and you can't substitute that. Like, it's probably the I think my second best salt. Okay, I'll talk my number one, but it's great for anyone looking for extra micronutrition, because when you understand nutrition, you have macronutrition, which is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay, macro means big, large. And then when we talk about micronutrition, it is the small nutrients that are essential for our body function. So I'll give an example. Vitamin C, A, D, E, K, but then you have all the potassium, sodium, magnesium, copper, manganese. They all the family of micronutrients. You cannot go further in your health without micronutrients, because without the micronutrients you cannot break down the macronutrient. Okay, so if you live on a diet of refined carbohydrates or refined everything, you eat basically from package, you're probably not going to hit much of your micronutrients, because guess what, when they industrialize products, when they made food convenient to us, they basically refined the food so much that it became quite dead. Okay, so it is a pretty sad part of our history where we saw convenience increasing but our health decreasing, because what the world became, it was a fast-paced place where people wanted just food for for flavor but also convenience. And what happened is, during that processing, we killed a lot of the nutrients in food. So that's why we have to go back to basics. We have to learn to cook our own meals. We have to go to the fresh food market. We have to have fruits and vegetables every single day, guys, because that's very important. But salt, it is what brings everything together, okay? We cannot live without salt. It's impossible. We need that for controlling our electrolytes, to control our osmosis. Your mood is affected by salt. If you ever done, a few hours without food, and sometimes you get cranky, it could be the fact you low blood sugar, but could be the fact you low salt, you low sodium. Okay. So what I tell people, if you're fasting for so long, like me, Joe, we were talking, we're a big fan of fasting. When you're fasting, the biggest tip I would give you guys is put a pinch of salt in your water every 3 to 4 hours when you're fasting, especially if you're fasting for 16 hours. Because what happens is when you add salt to the water, you hydrate yourself faster, but you enhance your mood immediately without the addition of calorie. So sometimes we are actually deprived in nutrients and electrolytes, not calorie. We all have heaps of calories stored in our body, in our belly, in our butt. Like, we don't need more calories. What we need is micronutrients, and salt brings that together. Then we go to Celtic or Celtic. Okay, I don't know how you guys say here in Australia, but I say Celtic. So that is a very ancient type of salt extraction. Basically, is a very rustic way. They get from the ocean. They let on those like almost like salt pools, and then the salt dehydrates over time because of the sun. Okay, so it's a very, very ancient method. It's fantastic for regulation of the blood pressure, but what we find is much easier to digest and much more powerful for you compared to the Himalayan salt. Okay. I would suggest right now to try to have both at home, maybe Himalayan and Celtic, and use more Celtic compared to Himalayan until you completely switch. Okay. You can use the Celtic for your water if you're fasting, and then the Himalayan for cooking. And then slowly reduce the amount of Himalayan and increase your Celtic salt. You're gonna find a lot better. You're gonna find a lot more energy. You're gonna find less acidification, and you're gonna find a lot less fluid retention as well. Okay, it's fantastic, especially if you're looking after weight loss. And then hang on, I'm gonna go back on the first few ones. I think I missed one. Chris probably know me for years. Hey, Chris, and I'm a big fan of quinoa or quinoa. I'm gonna talk quickly on that one because most people don't know the benefit of this. Look, this is not only a superfood from the Andes. It's the history of quinoa. It's 3,000 years before Christ. Okay, so we're talking about 5,000 years ago, and it was considered the mother of the grains. It was way back before the wheat became popular. Quinoa was probably the number one grain consumed all around the world. And what we know now is this superfood is packed with protein, 16% protein. It's more amino acids than milk. It has calcium, magnesium, manganese, iron, phosphorus, potassium. It is great for vitamin B's, E, C's. It is fantastic for anyone that's trying to lose weight and don't know how to substitute for what sort of carbohydrate to substitute. I would say cut the pasta, cut the bread, cut the wheat, substitute for quinoa, and eat quinoa at least once a day as your main carbs. And you find out that your weight drops very slowly but surely, and you won't feel hungry, and it is perfect because it has so much protein, so much fiber. You eat a little ball of quinoa, you feel full, and your body gonna be packed with all those nutrients. Your body won't crave anything else. It's different than pasta. You eat a big bowl and you're still hungry after that, okay? Because it's just like pretty much carbs. So quinoa it's fantastic, it's low GI. And what I find really cool, quinoa, and that's why I put in this slide, it is anti-inflammatory and antiviral. Most people don't know that, but quinoa helps fight virus. So imagine now, this time of the year where everyone freaking out about virus. Make sure you have some quinoa in your diet. Cook a batch of quinoa, mix with veggies. I have a great recipe I can give you guys. It's in my book, but it's all over the internet. If you type quinoa salsa on YouTube, Ronaldo Fulieri, the recipe is there. And it's fantastic for anyone that are a bit depressed, okay, because it's antidepressant as well. So that's probably my go-to for lunches. I do that every single week. Like tonight I just did for dinner. It's fantastic and it's super easy to cook. It's basically like you cooking rice. 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water, and it's like absorption method. And after it's cooked, you can use for different recipes. Okay, you can even do a cereal bowl. Instead of using cereal, you can do quinoa, put some blueberries, put some maple syrup, and put some fruit on the top, and it's fantastic. It's super delicious. Joe, I think I'm gonna stop here. I'm open for Q&A because I'm just afraid that my son is freaking out downstairs asking for me, and I don't want him to go carry on too long. I have a 4-month baby there, but I want to open for questions to see if anyone want to ask me any question about nutrition or about food as medicine. I'm here for you guys.
So guys, there was a question. I saw one before. Was there any particular kind of berry that you suggest over any other ones? Like, or is it just like all berries, or like, can you go into that a bit more?
I think we should just focus on what's available for us right now. Like if you have only one type of berry, go for it. It doesn't matter. I think of course the variety is the best. And that's why I love about GP, the capsules, the reds, because it got all the variety there. But if you have blueberries, go for it. If you have strawberries, is in season, go for it. I like the mixed berries and I put in my freezer because it got a variety of it. But if you have access to one, go for it. The color purple, and that's the most important. You have to focus on the rainbow colors. The more colors of the rainbow, the better. But if you have one purple, one red, one yellow, one orange, that's where the magic happens. The more colors of the rainbow, the more antioxidant profile you have. But if you have one berry to choose, I would go. Well, I'm a Brazilian. I'll go for acai berries, but not many people got access to that. I think they sell that at Woolies now, but I would say my second favorite is blueberries and strawberries.
Cool. Thanks, mate. So another question, should we be growing our own herbs right now more than ever? And if so, which ones?
Definitely. I would say if you have a little, veggie patch, or you don't even need it, you can put in vases. I would say grow rosemary, grow thyme, basil, coriander. Guys, you can't go wrong with those foods. There is so many benefits on growing your own herbs. First, it's super easy. You just need to water them. Don't let them on full sun all day. They need 12 hours of like no sun. So I would say east side, and then what happens is they're gonna get probably the first sun of the day, and after that they have a rest. Because if they are in a place that is full sun all day, especially in Australia, if you live in Queensland, it will burn them. Okay, so you need a little place where they face east, then they get the first sun, and then that pretty much the last few hours of the day it's gone. But thyme, it's easy to grow. Mary is super easy. Basil is like, it grows like my hair in Brazil. It's like, if you have mint, go nuts. Go to Bunnies, man, and go nuts. $50 on herbs will get you a good veg batch.
Wow, thanks, mate. So how much salt do you think is a good balance? Christina's husband was turned off by salt many years ago because of his arthritis. She does know that was regular salt, but cannot convince him.
That's why, because it's white salt could increase arthritis pain. I would say if you do the Celtic salt, I don't think it will affect, because I have arthritis since I was 15. And what affects is white refined salt, because that's very acidic. If you substitute for Celtic salt, I don't think that will be a problem. And because Celtic salt is very alkaline and has 68% sodium, it's not very high in sodium, which is the acidic part, you should be okay. And you can use, couple of teaspoons throughout the day won't hurt. I actually use 1 teaspoon, but I use it sporadic food, but I use 1 teaspoon certain in my liter bottle every single day. And it's one of the best, fantastic when you're fasting.
Thanks, mate. So I'm muting. I'm muting. Okay, cool. So I'd really like to know remedies for asthma and issues, mucus issues that you were talking about with garlics and onions.
Okay, for asthma, there is a little simple concoction you can do. It's basically you slice onion, grab a glass, and then you put onion and honey, and you intercalate onion and honey until you fill 3/4 of the glass. Then you put a Glad wrap on top and let marinate for 12 hours. Then you can have 1 teaspoon every second hour if you have a little bit of asthma attack, or if you have a congested lungs or any sort of bronchial infection. That will help it decongest, but also soothe, and is going to be very good expectorant. It's going to help it to decongest, but also expel the mucus out of the lungs.
Thanks, mate. And the final question, because we appreciate you so much and we want to get you back to your son, and you've been so gracious with your time, but are dried herbs okay or fresh only? And if there's any tips for keeping them fresh for longer?
I would say dried, there is no problem, but fresh, you can't substitute them. There is a different vibration. I think the fresher, the better. But if you are in a situation, well, can I keep the herbs, dried? Of course you can. They're still gonna have the medicinal properties. It's just gonna be different. Cooking. I think sometimes when you use fresh, you have a more flexibility to use a lot more. When it's dried, you gotta consider that they don't have the water, so it's a tiny little bit, and it's gonna be quite strong. But talking about vibration, one has lower vibration than the other, which makes a huge difference in the food, how you perceive that food. But you can cook with dried herbs. It's actually no problem at all. That's how it's been conserved for thousands of years. But if you do have access to the fresh, go for fresh. But in these times where there's no certainty if we're gonna have enough foods in the supermarket, I would say try to herb garden. If you don't, then just buy a bunch of dried herbs, keep in your pantry.
Thank you so much. Look, I'm just going to call it there because I want to get you back to your son, but I do want to show that, guys, Ronaldo has 2 books out, and I just would like Ronaldo to be able to share where can they follow you for more information, like you're getting the word out big time, and how can they share what it is that you're learning? How can people get in contact with you, and how can they buy these books?
Yep. Let me see if I put a slide here of my... There's social media there. My name, Ronaldo Fulieri, on social media, guys, pops up. You can always add me there. But if I can post it for you, Joe. But let me just see here if I open a new slide. If you just put the superpower of nutrition, if you go on my Instagram, like if you just type the superpower of nutrition there, it should pop up the website. Okay. And that's the name of my book, The Superpower of Nutrition. And that's it. You can follow me there. You can get some recipes on YouTube. If you put The Superpower of Nutrition or Ronaldo's Kitchen, that should come up straight away. There is ebooks available on Amazon, but my Facebook is pretty easy to find, and my Instagram as well. But if you go online, if you want to purchase a book or if you want to know more about me, there's YouTube videos all over with me explaining the benefits of food, but also recipes. And I think that's what I would like you guys to do, is pass it on the message. I can do for you, Joe, and Chris, a special here where I can send these slides for you guys. I think it's important for us to pass the message. I would just keep just keep it between your friends and family. Of course, this is my work done for years, but I don't care to share, because I think it's important now to share information that is valid, and it's very important for people to understand that we have access to powerful medicine right now in our pantry, and we all should know that.
Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it. This has been recorded, so I'm going to share it out with the team. I'm going to share it out, and, you know, like, thank you so much, Ronaldo, and I hope you have a most outstanding night, mate. Thank you.
You're welcome. Always welcome. I'm happy to come back anytime, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Ronaldo.
Good night. Bye.